crafty friends. Hey, it's Victoria with Victoria's Crafty Room. I've been getting a lot of questions on some of my masks, so I figured I'd try to do a quick video on how I'm doing these. I've got these with some our school logos on them, and I've gotten some school bus masks. I've got order here. There's some football masks. So I've been making a bunch of masks for our bus drivers. So I kind of made my own. This is one for myself. It's a little special one. This one just says bus driver. See? Neat. With our zone that I drive for. So it's really simple. I know there's hundreds of mask videos out there. So what I have here is a piece of material that measures 6 inches by 10 inches. It's 10 inches this way and 6 inches this way. You need 2 pieces. I'm doing pretty good with a pattern piece on one side and then a matching solid. If you got 2 solid, two pattern, whatever, it doesn't matter, because Walmart's out, quilt shops are going out, everybody's going out on the fabrics. I'm putting them face to face, right sides together. Of course, with the solid you can't really tell, so right sides together. Then put you over here on the machine. I'm gonna dip you down. Pay no attention to the ugly curtains. They were here when we moved in. Then we're going to sew along this seam and this seam. And I'll try to speed this part of the video up when I'm, doing it, that kind of thing. 1/4 inch seam. I'm using a 2.6 stitch hem, which isn't very big, but it's big enough. I don't cut it because it's just no point. And I'm sewing back down the other side. Then, cut this all apart. I trim them close, throw everything in the floor because I have a carpet and I'll vacuum it all up later, or I'll get down there and do it. Then you take the 2 pieces and you turn them right side out, pretty side out. Now we're going to come over here to the iron and we're going to press it. I like to press it for the seam, just to press the seam back, 1/4 inch allowance back to one side. I don't think it really matters. If you was quilter, it would matter, because we're going to encase this together, so it's not really going to matter which side's going where. Then I'm going to take it and pinch it and fold it where it lays flat. I'm going to press that real good. This little iron I got from Amazon. I love it. I think Walmart carried it for a little while, but, sewing stuff is practically out of stock nowadays. Now, got that good and pressed. I try not to spend too much time with each one of these, because then when you do, then you're losing time and making money. So we got a good little press on it. See, there. Alright, now, I'm going to take you back over here to the sewing machine. I'll put you up here, maybe you can see it a little better. Sorry if it's crooked. Okay, now get you back over here to the machine, and we're going to top stitch on both these long sides right here. 2.8 gives a good little top stitch. Going about 1/8 inch away from the edge, just enough to encase the top and bottom and sew it all together so we don't have no seams come undone. Then we're going to turn it around, and then we're going to do the other side. Sorry for the machine noise if it's really loud. I'm sorry. Just been asked by a couple of people about how I'm doing this, and I'm making these locally for local drivers here because it's just Something I'm doing, and I'm selling them, so $5 a piece. They're working out pretty good. Now, this is what I can't explain. This right here, to make the little crease part, I'm taking both my ends and I'm pushing them up to create a little loop here. And then I'm pushing these together probably like a 1/2 inch apart, maybe. I mean, you know, pretty good bit. And then I take this top piece and I'm just smushing it down. And I'm smushing it where all of it's kind of meeting each other, but they're not overlapping. You want a little sticking out on the top and a little sticking out on the bottom, like that. See there? I'm not sure how to explain that. I don't know how to tell you no other way to fold it except for that. Then I'm just coming back in here and I'm going to run a little top stitch just to secure it. Nothing fancy. Right on the edge. Just enough to hold it is all we're doing there. See? It's got the bottom piece here and then the top is connected to create this little poofy pocket. What do they call that? Kind of like a sour cream container type thing you used to get from Taco Bell. And squish this one up and then push this one down. Now to make this side and this side look even with this, usually what I do is try to mash this flat. And you can feel the seam in the middle. You want to make sure they're kind of touching each other as best as possible. So that makes it look kind of even, you know, on both ends there. So then we're going to turn this around. We're going to top stitch a little bit on this side. Like that. And trim off the ends just a little bit with these old crusty scissors. I don't like no string sticking out when I get ready to fold everything. That's why I like to trim it off. Like that. Oh, and then I pulled it. You keep pulling them, you're just going to fray it all out. There. So see, that's what you got. You got an open pocket in the back here. And then a good little pocket on the front. Because this expands. So, you could press this down or press it when you get through. Either way, it doesn't matter. You want the back to kind of meet. If it meets, perfect. If it doesn't a little bit, then that's fine. I wouldn't go too far than that. Because then it's going to be wonky a little bit. It's not even on both sides. So, you know, it is what it is. It's homemade. Now, I have another one already made over here. I'm just going to show you. I make my homemade bias tape. This bias tape piece right here is 2 1/4 inches maybe. I like to go 2 1/2, maybe 2 1/2 inch bias tape piece is perfect and higher. I've used all of it. I've got some that's really, really wide that I like. Here's some red here. It's real wide. I like this one. Then I bought some of this from Hobby Lobby left over. See, it's like 3 inches, I think. So, when you get material, however wide you want it, you fold it in half, like this, and then you press it, and then you fold those halves to the seam in the center, like that, and you could press it again, or you could fold it on over again, because this is how you use this. Then, you open it up, and you lay the raw edges together, and you run a little seam here. Normally you would run the seam in the stitch right here. But with this, I don't want to create so much bulk right here in this. So I run it right on the seam. So both sides, on the right sides of the material. Like that. Because then when you turn this over, face down, I'm going to fold that up to the first crease. And fold this in. And I like to trim them a little bit because it's a little bit long. Usually about 4 inches is a good length to do these masks. Some of these are longer because I just used scrap material and I wasn't measuring. I just folded it and ironed it and let it go. Have it all folded up. Fold this end in. Then I'm going to clip it because I needed some more fingers, that kind of stuff. Make sure I'm recording. Yeah. I'll fold this one up. And then what I'm using are these ponytail holders from the Dollar Tree. You get 30 on here, so I can get 15 masks. There is another one that they have a metal band in the back, and they are 15 to a card. And they're a little bit smaller around. So you could do either one. I've done both. It doesn't really matter. Whichever one's is accessible to you. Whichever one makes it easier. Like here's one. Here's a brown one that I have with the class. See the difference? There are a little difference in the size. They are the same circumference. It's just one has the metal and one doesn't. If you should use one of these and while you're putting it on and it breaks, get two, tie them together, cut the other one, tie a knot in it, tie it together, put it in here, lay it out straight, put it in here, sew all this up, and then take the ends and tie it together, and it'll be just fine. It's perfect. Then it can actually go back and be tightened if you have to. If you want to use elastic, if you're able to get a hold of some elastic, then use a 7-inch piece. I have some elastic here, and fortunately I've told my customers that if something happened to it, please let me know and I'll get you some elastic and you can put back in it and tie it and keep going from there, you know, that kind of thing. Now, I use these clamps to clamp it all together to hold it for me like that, just to kind of hold it. Now we're going to sew it. Slow that down a little bit. Stick it up under there. On, off. And probably did more back stitch than I should have, and that's okay. Take the other one off. Keep going. Off, back, and then back down again. And that's it. Now we're going to trim that off. And there we go. We got that one done. Now let's do the other side. Tuck this in. I'll fold this up. I'm going to trim this off a little bit. About a 1/2 inch. Leave about a 1/2 inch on both ends. That's fine. My husband asked me one time, he said, "Aren't you scared you're going to sew your fingers?" I said, "No, I'm not scared of my machine." So don't be scared of your machine. Be familiar with your machine, respect your machine, and then it will respect you. Be smart when you sew. Now clamp that back. Put this one on this end, and we're going to clamp this end here. Okay, like that. Take that one off and stick this under there. I have to, there we go, we got it under there. Try that again. It's getting hung up. Why is it thick? It's a little thick. Oh, it's catching on that band right there. Too close. I'm going to cut that out of the way. Get all that out of the way. Too close on up in there. Get that band all up in there. Sometimes it catches on your presser foot. There's too much bulk under there and it won't feed through with your feed dogs. That. Up. That way. And stop. I'm going to take this clamp off and I'm going to sew it across again. And back. And then back again. Use a small to medium stitch width so it doesn't have long gaps in it. You're not quilting it, so you know you want to make sure you don't have big gaps in it, that kind of stuff. And that's it. It's not a perfect seam, not a perfect hem seamstress, and that's it. Pretty good, huh? So here's the mask. It's got both the little ends, and it pops open here and goes around your ears. Get it around my ear. I got my glasses on. I quit wearing earrings. And see, it goes right under your mask, and you pull it down, and it's perfect. Perfect. I love them. I love them. They're perfect. It's 2 layers. Wash and wear every evening. It makes really good. Here's the little yellow one. You know, cotton 100% cotton fabric, and you're good to go. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hope you learn to make one. Bye. See you on the flip side.